guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be filming my NYX Face Awards submission, and we're starting by priming our skin. This is super important before you do any foundation or any single makeup look. It just helps adhere the foundation to your skin. And then we're going to be taking this cream foundation, and we're going to be applying this all over. I like to use cream because this is a little bit more on the full coverage side, and today we're going to be a little bit more artsy. So I wanted to keep my skin very flat. I wanted to keep it very even. I didn't want any redness to peek through. That's why I'm using a flat top kabuki today, just because it makes it super seamless with blending it out. I mean, seriously, as you guys see, it's very full coverage. If you use a damp sponge, it will kind of absorb some, and it won't be as full coverage. So that is why I'm applying it with this brush today. Like I said, we're going to be a little bit more on the artsy side, so I really wanted my skin to be very full coverage. You guys don't have to go this full coverage if you recreate this, but we're just having a little bit of fun with it, so there you go. And now we're going to be taking some concealer and applying underneath our eyes, and just to cancel out that redness, because I have a lot of redness, and then center of our face, down the bridge of our nose, and on our chin. And I also will be using this concealer as an eyeshadow primer, just because there's no need to go out and get 17 different products for a makeup look when you can literally use what you have. And I'm taking just this flat brush. I mean, it's not really flat, it's more like a dome shape, and I'm going to be blending out the concealer back and forth in different motions just so there are no streaks. And then, like I said, taking that same concealer and applying it on the lid and blending it out with the same brush. I like this brush because it doesn't absorb all of the product. It kind of just moves it around, and I think it keeps everything very full coverage. I have a lot of redness in my lids, as you guys see, and it easily just covers that up. And then I'm taking this NYX shadow brush and a little bit of translucent powder. I always have to set my lids. I have very oily skin, very oily eyelids. If I don't, it becomes a hot mess. The colors start to get really wonky, and the oil starts to blend in, and it just becomes a mess. So I always have to set my lids and the rest of my face. So I'm just taking a big fluffy brush in the same translucent powder, setting my whole face before we go in with any other products, just because my foundation will run off of my skin. And always make sure you set your concealer so there's no creasage. Like I said before, make sure to look up when you set your concealer, and there you go. Then we're taking a crease brush and a little bit of this NYX shadow. I will leave it down below. I forgot what the name of this was, and I'm just using it as a transition shade. I just feel like this is going to help everything look a little bit more clean later. Even though it is going to be a little bit crazy, as you guys saw from the intro, I did want it to be a little bit more like messily clean, as you guys see. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted it to be messy, but like strategically messy. That's what I'm looking for. And then I'm just blending this upwards, kind of pretty high, because we are going to be applying some cream colors. And I'm taking this yellow cream color and this flat brush, and I'm starting in the inner corner. So I'm applying the yellow in the inner corner, because I just love yellow. And if you guys look at a color wheel, that is kind of how I depicted what colors I was going to use. So colors that are kind of like next to each other are ones that are going to blend nicely together, and they're going to complement each other nicely. So I'm just applying the blue on the outer corner, and then I will be applying a pink in the inner corner. And as you guys are going to see, I'm going to be taking a ripped up sponge, and I think that that just helps blend out and give a little bit more texture to the look. And I'm going to take that sponge and just kind of press over it. I don't want to fully blend the colors together. That's not what I'm going for. I'm just going to make it so they blend nicely, but there's still a definite yellow, there's a definite pink, and there's a definite blue. That's what I wanted to keep with this look. I did call this an autism awareness because I did take some inspiration color-wise from the autism awareness poster that they had for this month, because it is Autism Awareness Month. That is why it's called this. I didn't want you guys to just think like, oh, like, why does he have autism awareness in the title? But yes, I did. I took the colors that they were using for the puzzle pieces, and I decided to incorporate them into a look for you guys. So I'm taking the yellow, like I said before, and applying this on the inner corner, the pink in the center, and the blue on the outer corner. And the ripped up sponge really does help create a little bit more of that texture. As you guys see, it does look a little bit messy, but it looks nice. Like, I at first was like scared. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be too much. But then I went with it, and I was like, you know what? Let your creative juices roll. And this is what I came up with. So I'm just taking the sponge and kind of just blending out the edges, because I thought that they were a little bit too much. So I wanted to blend them out just a tiny bit. And then I'm taking this NYX mascara. It's like a teal mascara, which I'm obsessed with. And I'm going to be using this as my mascara today. I do apply a couple coats because my lashes are very, very black. So I apply it on the back of my lashes and the front of my lashes, because I really did want this color to stand out. And don't mind the paint all over my hands. Like, I was a little bit messy with it today, but whatever. You just got to get creative and let your let your imagination roll. So then I'm going to be just applying this, and now we jumped contouring real quick, and I'm taking this NYX brush, and this is the NYX 02 brush, and I'm contouring with the NYX contour kit. So, as you guys see from the beginning, there are like a couple like colors in the contour, but I liked to keep my forehead like very bronzed up. I didn't want to bring any color up there. I thought that would be just a little bit too much. So, I mean, like me, a little bit too much. Do you guys see what my eyes look like right now? And then I'm going to be contouring regularly with this same number 2 brush from NYX, which is like a fan brush, but I love the way it is for contouring and bronzing. Like, I think that it just blends out flawlessly, and it kind of gets right in the hollows of my cheeks, and it's so fluffy that it blends everything out so flawlessly, and it kind of just looks beautiful. So I've been obsessed with this lately. And then I'm going to be taking just a translucent powder, and I'm going to be cutting the contour. I wanted to keep, the only thing I wanted to keep structured was underneath my contour, because I felt like I hate when that looks a little bit messy, so that is why I am doing that. So now we're going to be taking the primary colors from NYX, and we're taking the colors in Hot Fuchsia, Hot Blue, and Hot Yellow, and I'm going to be applying these as blush and contour today. So first I'm applying the Hot Fuchsia color. I actually liked this just in general, like I thought that it was really pretty, and these primary colors are very pigmented, but they do have a little bit of fallout, which you are going to expect from something that has a lot of pigment. They're going to have some fallout, and that's inevitable. But I'm taking the same colors that I used in my eyes and applying them on my cheeks. I thought that this would really round this whole entire look out and really just pull it all together, so it didn't look like there was just random colors on my eyes. I also decided to apply yellow, fuchsia, and blue on my cheeks today. And I go a little bit on the ham side, but that is okay. You guys see, I kind of go back and forth, applying more pink, applying more blue, applying more yellow, just to get it at the saturation and at the look that I want out of it, like the amount of color and payoff that I want. So take your time, obviously. And then I'm just going to take a brush and blend it out and take away this sharp translucent powder. And I just feel like it came out very well. It kind of looks a little strange right now, but as you guys see, we'll tie it all in later. And then I'm just taking that same mascara and applying it to my lower lashes. I felt like I needed to. I mean, you couldn't just have blue top lashes and not blue lower lashes. And then I decided to blank out my lips entirely. And then I didn't really like the way that this was blanking them out. I feel like it wasn't blanking them out as much as I wanted it to. So I just take my ring finger and I take the foundation and I literally just apply it on there like a lipstick. And I feel like that muted out my lips entirely because I wanted to go in with some color. And then I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to apply this fuchsia cream color that we used in the eye. I'm going to be applying the yellow and I'm going to be applying the blue. And I'm really being very sloppy with it, but my fingers help blend these in really, really nicely together. They kind of just blended flawlessly, but I kind of go back and forth, applying more color and more color where I wanted to. This look kind of gets a little bit crazy, but like I like to take my time with what I'm using, and I like it to look like weirdly perfect. Like, to me, I feel like this look came out very well. So I'm just going to take my finger. It's the best tool you have is your finger, and start just blending it all over, kind of being a little bit sloppy. But then I will also take that little sponge and kind of just go over just to kind of blend that out too. And now I'm taking this angled brush from NYX and I'm taking those primary colors and just splattering all of this all over my face. I really wanted to give this a little bit more of a colorful vibe because I felt like what we were doing it was enough, but it wasn't enough for me. So I just took the brush and I just started splattering this powder all over my face. As you guys see, it's kind of getting a little bit wild, but I am taking the same colors I used before, the hot yellow, the hot blue, and the hot fuchsia, and then I'm just taking a brush and kind of just blending them out a little because the powder was just like resting on my skin. So I did want to blend them out a little bit so they weren't as harsh of a color. But as I keep going in with some yellows, blues, pinks, and I even went in with the green, I think, which is also a primary color. I can't even remember. That's probably called hot green too. But this angled brush really helped because it was such a tightly compacted brush. If you want to like fling it on your face, like that's like kind of the brush you want to use, something very tightly packed. And then I'm using that shadow brush we used in the beginning and kind of just pressing and blending those out. And I felt like clearly I was not done, so I kept going in with a little bit more of the fuchsia. And this look is kind of coming together. And then it's time for the brows. And I decided to just use the same mascara we used on our lashes for our brows. I feel like this just is what we needed in our life. So I like how this turned out. It just kind of like went in my brows very nicely, and it added that extra step I think that this look needed. So that is why we're going for some colorful brows today. And then I also decided, because we added that blue in our brows that I wanted to add a little bit of a cream color. So I added a little bit of a light blue cream color into the lips just so it didn't look so harsh. And that is all for the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!